F-bombs just become an accepted part of our world where coaches just go to podiums and drop F-bombs. When did that start happening?
I think it was right after COVID.
Damn COVID.
COVID-19.
Ruined our profanity, our properness in press conferences. Took everything away.
It was. It really was. We got that documented.
Early Break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is area race announcer James Rowland. Join me and Bree Fansteel every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket for The Finish Line, where we cover all things motorsports from local racing to racing around the world. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Bigger Than the Score here on this Ticket Sunday. Welcome in if you guys want to join the show or any of the shows as they're going all day long here. 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. You can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and as always, Allo Channel 961. You can comment through there as well. Got a little bit of rain this morning, but looks like we're off to a nice, somewhat of a sunny start here. But Pete Ferguson, how's it going on this morning?
Oh, can't complain. Like you said, a little bit overcast, but I think we needed the rain. And always excited to come in on Sundays and kind of start the Sundays off. I think the first Sunday in June, which is hard to believe. What is it? Yeah, I was gonna say June 2nd. You're looking at the date, you're like, okay,
it's flying by.
But I mean, thinking about January, it just seems like it was just yesterday when we were in here and it was ice cold, and we were debating whether we were going to do a show or not because it was so cold in here and school was being canceled. So always great to be in the space. Looking forward, like you said, a full day of Sunday programming. So just, like I said, sit back, tune in, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or if you want to even come down and see some of the personalities, got fitness fanatics afterwards, or even some of the guests we have on, and just enjoy the meal. Luke's go ahead and cooking things up, and always a great young man. So love to, he'd love to have the company as well.
Absolutely. And they do a nice job here at the mill. I recommend it. I'm blanking on the name. The ice cream coffee. What's that called again?
You know what?
It's like the brown slushy type.
I have not. Oh, is that the Granita?
Granada,
yeah, potato, and I was over
recommend that
we'll,
one.
We'll go ahead and have vocabulary lessons a little bit later, but Granada, it's the brown slushy ice cream type coffee. Go ahead and take that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially on day. I think it's supposed to kind of muggy out later. Might be nice to cool you down. But yeah, these guys will be open. They're open all the way until 1 p.m. And then be sure to stay tuned in because at 11 o'clock as well, we'll get to hear from Austin and Nick again as those guys are still down in Stillwater, and they'll be covering the Husker baseball game. And they play again today at 1 o'clock, and they got to win out here to avoid. They already got one loss, double elimination, so they got to win out here.
Yeah, and great lead in. We got a full house with guests today. And I think as you talk about baseball, number of things happening this week. Obviously, you've got the softball that's going on in Oklahoma State. And so some tremendous games that were going on out there. And then, like I said, you got Nick and Austin over in Stillwater and enjoying things. Love their coverage of the game, but also just some of the behind the scenes things of how that stadium is built. I know they were showing some things at the tailgating sections, and then just what it would take maybe for Lincoln to really host like, a super regional and some of those things. They were showing some of the facilities, the batting cages.
Yeah, really cool by Nick and Austin to go ahead and do that. Because as you said, you think at Haymarket Park, it's a beautiful field. It's like, why can't we ever host a regional?
Yeah.
And Nick kind of gives and Austin, they give an inside scoop of Oklahoma State. And you're like, I get it now. Like you see the facilities they have, the practice areas. And I'm like, it just makes sense that they host a regional. So it is something with Haymarket Park's a beautiful park. But as Nick was kind of saying, it's like, we want to host something like this. Maybe these other facilities, something we need to take account of, have more practice fields out there, more batting cages, something that it's a beautiful park, but again, you put a bunch of teams down there, maybe it doesn't work as well. So I thought that was really cool. Good job by Nick and Austin, kind of showing that. And again, it's a new park, so you'd hope it is
right.
Nice
Well, and there's money, but you look at that Boone Pickens and some of the things in the trust and the behind the scenes story, but also when you're talking about just the baseball and the magnitude. And again, this will kind of lead into our guests that we have. But this week that the Negro Leagues were recognized and their statistics were recognized and elevated. I don't want to say elevated, but were included in Major League Baseball stats. And so that kind of transitioned some different things where you had individuals like Josh Gibson, who ended up becoming one of the career leaders, surpassing Babe Ruth. And there's been some conversation and talk about it. But one of the cool things is I was looking up some of the history, and it's not that far down the street. The Kansas City Negro League Museum is in Kansas City, was in Oxford, Nebraska. They hosted the Kansas City Monarchs in 1948 in a barnstorming game and defeated the Memphis Red Sox. And so that contest is believed to be one of the first major league games ever held in Nebraska.
Oh, wow.
And in 2020, Major League Baseball elevated those games to Major League Baseball status. And so, Nebraska has had a part and a role in that. And so I just, wanted to put that out there and thought that was pretty cool just to see that inclusionary piece of, all records put forward. And people talked about, the Negro League baseball players play against the best players and then vice versa. But the question put back was, did Babe Ruth play against all the best players either? And so I think just to have that, part of it is American history all included in that was great to see this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's as Pete Ferguson's talking, they add the Negro League stats officially to the MLB stat book. And it's needed because you need the full story, right? Like that's the whole point of it. It's like, if we're going to talk about the Professional League of Baseball, it starts all the way back in its origins. And if you're going to talk about it again, you need to get both stats
Exactly.
there. You get the full picture of exactly what baseball was like. And the Negro League was a huge part of that. Again, if you look at Josh Gibson's stats, I encourage anybody to do so because I don't care who he's playing against. Those numbers are insane.
Well, and you've got, and like I said, I think kind of a lead into our guest today, and I'm excited. I'm actually going to pose to Coach Williams because I think, if you've got somebody who's got a batting average of 374, on base percentage of 458, a slugging percentage of 719, on down the line, you would take one of those people, wouldn't you, Coach Williams?
100%.
He's probably saying, I have him sitting in here in the studio today. And so kind of that transition, but I want to introduce our guest that we have in here in the studio today. We have Coach Williams, and he is I won't say he's the head baseball coach. I want to say head baseball coach over at Northwest High School.
Assistant.
Or sorry, I elevated you. I'm sorry. The other person didn't show up. The head didn't show up, so you are the head today.
Yeah, we'll be the head today.
But the assistant baseball coach at Lincoln Northwest High School. We also have Paul, who's a scholar at Northwest High School, also a member of their Legion team. And then we've got Mikael, who is a third grader. Correct? All right, third grader, and he is a third grader scholar, and he's got a connection to Paul and also Coach Williams in their program. But welcome in studio today.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Awesome to have you. Well, hey, Coach Williams, first off, just tell us a little bit about who you are. Have you always been in Nebraska? Worked at Northwest? Kind of tell us just briefly about your background.
Yeah, just to keep it brief. Obviously grew up loving the game of baseball. Fortunate to have the ability to play it all the way through college. So that was kind of my journey, and then kind of did some coaching throughout my college days on the side, and just kind of enjoyed being with kids. The thrill of taking them from one step to the next. Skill wise was always kind of a passion of mine. But so that's kind of where I went. And then once I was done playing through college and decided everybody was taller and bigger than me. Just kind of decided, okay, I'm going full. I'm going to get into coaching. Obviously, I got into teaching. I teach at Keller Middle School.
Okay.
Go Cougars. And then when we opened the program last year at Northwest, was fortunate to have Coach Faulkner ask me to come on board and kind of begin our journey there.
Awesome. And you said you played in college. Where did you play?
I played 1 year down in Kansas and then transferred back up to UNK and finished out there.
Okay. A Loper. My daughter just is finishing her master's out there.
Great school.
Good school, good program. Paul, what about you? Tell us a little bit, introduce yourself, and tell us who you are.
Well, I grew up in Nebraska, but I was born in Florida, so I lived there for like 2 years of my life. Should I tell you what school?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about who's in your family.
So I have my dad, my mom, and my brother that I don't really get to see often because he likes to stay in his room and play video games.
So that means he's tuning in. This is just a big old video game. So give a shout out. Give us their names. Give us their names if they're listening and watching.
My dad's name is Josh. Hi, Josh. And my mom's name is Renee. She's at home right now. James, I don't know where he is. Probably at home. But hi, James. He's my brother. And then I wanted to give a shout out to my Aunt April and my cousin Carter. It was his 11th birthday yesterday and her 40th today.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday to both of them as well. And what grade are you in or going into? I shouldn't say in. I'm assuming you've moved on and you're making that move up transition next year.
Yeah, I'm going into sophomore year.
Okay. At Lincoln Northwest.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about that journey. You're involved in a number of different things, obviously baseball, but tell us some of the things you're involved in there.
At Northwest, I'm involved in this year I did orchestra, baseball, and football. And so I was for football, I was on the freshman team, and then baseball I was on reserve, JV, and then got bumped up for varsity for state and district.
Awesome. Fantastic. And Miguel, you're here as well. We're going to get in a little bit more about that connection, but tell us a little bit about who you are and who's in your family.
Yeah, I have my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister.
Okay, and give us their names.
My mom's name is Melinda. My dad's name is.
I'm gonna have you step up to that mic just a little bit because I know they want to hear you. Oh, there you go. We got to elevate this. We got to go ahead. There you go.
My mom's name is Melinda. My dad's name, he goes by Michael for sure. And my sister's name is Mikael. My brother's name is Silas.
Awesome. Fantastic. We're getting the mic suggested, but definitely we're going to continue with you in a little bit. But Coach, I want to ask you just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the Northwest program. And you've got the Legion team. And so that's kind of the reason we wanted to have the connect. Who are the sponsors for the Legion program? And then just what are some essential pieces of the culture that you look for, not only in players, but as you establish the program, especially that servant leadership type aspect?
Yeah. So we opened up last year, 23, when the school is brand new. And just kind of, we decided where we where we're going to go. And then we kind of have the players. We were fortunate to have about a handful, 6, 7, 8 transfers that came over initially to our program to kind of help build what we wanted to build. Obviously, build the baseball program the best we could, as quick as we could, and just fill it up with the best type of kids that we could, not just on the field, but off the field. And I think Coach Faulkner and the rest of our guys, that is really important to us. And then last year, getting into the Legion, and then this year repeating. Our Legion sponsors are B&B Roofing for our junior Legion. That's our team right here. And then the seniors are sponsored by Strasburger Orthopedics.
Okay.
So,
and we talk about, obviously, the title of the show is Bigger Than the Score.
Yeah.
And you shared about that. We wanted some players. Obviously, you want individuals. You want the Josh Gibsons out there, and you would take them in a heartbeat. But you also, bigger than those X's, larger than the X's and O's and the stuff off the diamond. Talk a little bit about what you've done to instill with that, to instill that culture, and then some of the recent things that you've done.
Yeah, and a lot of this is a shout out to Faulkner too, because he's kind of spearheaded a lot of this, and also a lot of the parents that have helped us along the way. But yeah, it's like I said, it's not just the talent on the field. Obviously, we would love all that, but just the volunteer opportunities that we've done last year. Getting involved with like the Homer's Heroes. I know that's coming up here in another week or so. We'll probably head out there and do that again as a team. Last week. Being able to go to an elementary, Brownell Elementary, through Brennan's connections there, and give back to some of the little kids. But yeah, it's just nice to have the kids, have the students, have the athletes, kind of give back to the community, and when we think about the well-rounded athlete, the well-rounded human, right? That's kind of the goal of our program.
Well, I think we talk about just being a good human, is ultimately important. And let's not discount, like, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to have success. And so you want to see that, rack up. A lot of people will say, well, it's bigger than the score. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to compete. It doesn't mean that you don't want to, have success, score runs, and see, those affirmations towards the time that they're putting in. Paul, with that being said, why has that been something that you've seen within the program? Be like, okay, this is something that's important to me outside of just me having success on the baseball diamond.
I mean, I've seen that it's been important just because it seems like some of those little kids like look up to us and stuff. And so it kind of puts them on like a path that like maybe they want to go play baseball at Northwest, and it gives our school and baseball team like a good rep.
Awesome. So Miguel, I'm going to ask you this. He talked about like looking up to Paul. Looking up to individuals. When you saw them come out to your school and in that environment, what was your first thought when they walked through the doors?
I don't know. It was crazy. I felt like I was going to play on a real diamond at that point.
Wow. That's got to be a cool feeling when you hear that coach, like,
100%.
When they walk through, it's like, okay, this is just nuts.
Yeah.
And these are, again, big deal. But this is Lincoln Northwest. These are high school scholars.
Yes,
making that impact. Yeah. When you hear that, what do you think?
Yeah, and then again, that's what it's all about. I can remember when I was these guys' ages, and I remember having, players come visit our schools, and I remember all those experiences and what that did for me. And I would even say that kind of sparked, the career that I had as far as a player. But yeah. Just to walk in, for example, to walk into the elementary last week and to see all the smiles on the kids, and just running around and partnering up and that's that sit back moment. You're like, okay, this is a really good thing.
Well, and for you to categorize it at that level, the team had some success this year.
We did.
And I
We
don't want
did.
to even say some unexpected success. A lot of people say, well, that was unexpected or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you never go into a season being like, well, I just hope we get there. No, that's what your aspirations were.
Yeah.
And so just compare that and talk a little bit about what the success was, but then two, talk about how hearing this compares to that and also contributes to not only that success, but also the future success that you're going to have as a program.
Yeah, fortunately we did have some success on the field. Our, we had a bunch of kids that we've been kind of preaching potential, and they've had, they've had the pieces that we thought we could make a run. The season, obviously this year, this spring was a little up and down. We're talking school season. And then towards the end, we just, to sum it up really quick, we got hot, got into districts. Our motto, as cliche as it is, we got nothing to lose. And getting off the bus, and Paul could probably talk to it. We were a little rowdy getting off the bus, and like, let's go.
Right.
And we just made a run. Won our district, and then was fortunate enough to go through the state tournament and win a couple games as well. So that was kind of our season success. We ended on a great note. But just to kind of tie it all up, having great kids. I mean, I know we all say it, we all have great kids, but we have great kids, and schoolwork, athletically, and just who they are, and it's a tribute to the parents too. But just to see all that come together, on the field at that level, and to look up in the stadium there at Werner Park, for example, and just see the massive amounts of purple that were there, it just kind of puts it all together.
Wow. And so, I think, like you said, when you come into that gym and you see that, kind of run around and they have those future aspirations, and now they're saying, okay, I want to experience that, but you showcased to that, those scholar athletes before, like, this is what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
This is, I don't say
100%.
the craziness, but this is the feeling that you can have, not only, experiencing the state tournament, but also when you go into, impact the lives of other young people. And so I really appreciate you being willing to share, lay that foundation. I know you're going to have continued success, but we're going to go to a break here on Bigger Than the Score. And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about those experiences, why that representation matters, with another one of your scholar athletes, Brennan. And then we'll continue with Paul and Mikhail.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Join On the Block and Old School live from Scissors and Scotch on 30th and Yankee Hill on Thursday, June 6th to celebrate their grand opening. Feel better instantly with a beard trim, haircut, or a traditional shave courtesy of the experienced and professional barbers at Scissors and Scotch. Stick around after your cut and enjoy a beverage in their cozy bar area, and don't worry, there's more than just Scotch. Spend your afternoon with Scissors and Scotch at 93.7 The Ticket, live on location June 6th from 2 to 6 p.m.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefit package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at GainaTrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and we were missed on the ones and twos. We have Harrison, as always, on this Sunday morning. Harrison, how can they get in touch with us if they want to join in on the engagement this morning?
As always, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And again, the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream is always available to you guys. You can comment through there as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel at 961.
And had a great first segment. I think first off, we had Coach Williams kind of talking about just the culture of the program over at Northwest, also BB Roofing and his American Legion team. And we got a replacement, so joined in studio by Brennan. And Brennan, tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and who's in your family.
I got.
Go ahead and bring it closer to the mic there, Brennan.
Okay. I got my two parents, Dana and James. They've been a lot. And then I got one little brother. And then I've been playing baseball for a while.
Okay. And so you're a member of the B&B Roofing, the American Legion
Yeah.
team as well over there. And then also, what year are you over at Northwest High School?
I'm going to be a junior next year.
Okay, fantastic. Almost running the school. And then we've got Paul, who Paul is also a member or is a scholar at Northwest High School, is also moving up as well. And then we got Mikael, who is a third grade scholar as well. And so, Mikael, you said before the break you forgot a shout out. So we want to make sure you give that shout out.
Shout out to Xander, number 21 on the Northwest baseball team. He was my partner, and he helped me out a lot. He was always like, sign the Babe Ruth, like right now. It's like,
okay.
You're gonna hit a tank, like you're gone. I'm like, okay, well, just do it.
Okay. So shout out to Xander. Xander, number 21. You got a shout out here in studio. So Brennan, tell us a little bit about like what are you involved in? What do you do inside of school, but also outside of school, so we get to know you?
I'm in like FCA for like a club, and then baseball, and then outside of school, I help out at Norwood Park, CLC. Past, I've been like reffing the basketball games they've been having.
Okay. And so CLC, for those that don't know, is community learning centers. And so that's before and after school programming within the area. For those of our listeners that might be outside the area, it's similar to various different kind of types of programs, but that's what Lincoln has labeled theirs. And so what are some of the things you said there's after the basketball program? What is kind of the philosophy of like the community learning centers when you go in? I know part of it's service, part of it's leadership, but what is something you've taken away from your experience there?
It's mostly like having fun.
Okay.
Giving kids like an experience that they don't usually get.
Awesome. And so, Paul, you talked a little bit about some of the things that you're involved in. It was a kind of an exhaustive list. You know, what is just one piece of advice that you would have for individuals that when you talk about like getting involved in things and they're kind of a little bit hesitant? What is the piece of advice that you would give to them about getting involved?
I mean, I would probably just say, just do it, because you're gonna regret it at some point, or I mean, you can make friends, you can make memories for a lifetime. It's always a good idea.
Always a great idea to get involved with things. And so, Miguel, I want to ask you the same question. You're involved in different things. You've gotten to meet these scholars. What is a piece of advice that you would have for like individuals that are your peers or a little bit older? I usually say your peers are anybody between 0 and 20, 25 years old. What's a piece of advice that you'd have for them?
I'd just say, I don't know. Don't hurt anyone. Just if you're gonna hit a baseball, don't aim at the face.
Okay.
Because
So
a lot of people in the MLB, like they got hit in the face, and they're like out of the MLB for like the rest of their life, and then you see them and you're like, oh gosh, they have black eye, or like they're done for.
Okay, so be a good person. Don't intentionally try to hurt individuals. Yeah. Okay, that's always a good piece of advice. So what is something you all got the opportunity to experience a baseball camp and engagement, so to speak, last week? I saw the pictures. I want to start. You talked about when they came in, you were like, man, this is just awesome. Like this is a huge and it's a big deal. Paul, I want to ask you, what were you thinking when you heard this was something you were going to do? And were you like, okay, this is something I have to do. I'm part of the team. I'm going to do it. Or was there some excitement that you and Brennan had? And what were kind of your initial thoughts?
When I first saw it in the group chat, I was like thinking, and I was like, this looks actually pretty fun, and it looks like it would be a cool opportunity to like kind of be a role model for these like younger kids. And then I was also like, well, it's another thing to play baseball. So
okay. Brennan, what about you?
I think it was like giving the kids opportunity to just have fun playing baseball.
Okay. And so, Miguel, I want to hear about, because you said you saw somebody up. So Harris and I both want to know the definition of what that looked like. But what was the highlight of the experience for you? And so, Brennan, we'll start with you.
The highlight was like just having fun with little kids.
Okay.
Giving them the opportunity to play baseball.
Now, was there like a special moment that you're like, okay, this was really cool. This is why I'm remembering this. Miguel, if you don't have one, I think he's got one to say. So what's yours?
It was like the smiles on the kids, like running the bases, doing the basics of baseball.
I love that. I oftentimes reference a quote from Maya Angelou, and she says, I often forget what people have said. I've often forgotten what people have done, but I always remember how I've made people feel. And so it was those smiles that kind of like moved, kind of carried you forward. Paul, what about you? What's an experience that you had that you're like, okay, man, this was this was all right. I want this on my Instagram reel.
I would say definitely what Brennan said, the smiles on the kids' faces, but probably my favorite part was either when we started off playing sharks and minnows actually, and my other favorite part was probably when we just had like the nice little baseball game going with both teams.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you one quite yet. Micah, what about you? You shared a story during break, your favorite moment. So go ahead, give us some insight.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we were playing sharks and minnows, like Paul said, and when we were playing, wasn't it Bailey?
Yeah,
Bailey. And I went in, then I curved out, and he just fell on the floor. I'm like, dang. And like everyone just like pretty much all the team just grouped around him and was like poking him, and like they were all like I'm like, they do this every time they get sauced.
Okay.
Chill.
All right, we're gonna do the terminology thing because we already messed up the granita and the granada, and then we got sauced, and so we're gonna have a full vocabulary for Naya when she comes in here to go ahead and dictate during or explain during Fitness Fanatics. So, as you all have all kind of been involved with things, I want to ask you, we ask each week kind of just like advice, and we asked earlier some advice that you would have for like your peers, but what is just some general advice that you would have for like adults? If you had every adult, sitting up here in front of you, and you're just like, I just want to give you a piece of advice. We had this experience, and it has to be about baseball. It has to be in general about being a good human, being a leader, being somebody with character. What is a piece of advice that you would give to adults? And I'm gonna start with you, Brendan.
I would say when you get knocked down, just get right back up, keep going.
What's been like for somebody that may be like, okay, I get it, but like, how do you do that? Like, what's one thing that they can do to get back up? Like, what's the first step?
I don't know.
What do you do? What's the first step you do if you strike out or you make a bad pitch? What's something you do to keep going?
I just move on to the next play and trust my teammates because I know they'll go.
Okay. Mikael, what about you? Advice for adults, and they're sitting in front of you and you're like, okay, you know what? This is one piece of advice I need every one of you all to listen to and to get to live a better life. What's a piece of advice that you would give?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have you speak right in that mic right there.
I don't know actually.
Okay. No advice you have. We'll come back. We'll come back to you, Paul. What about you? What's a piece of advice that you would have?
One thing I've heard in sports is the most important play is the next one. And so I've kind of taken that into sports and life. So like, don't just hang on like something that you did wrong because it will like affect you in the meantime. And so I've kind of just like think about it, but like move on.
I like that. Think about it and go ahead and move on. So a baseball question for you all. So when people come up to bat, they have walk-up songs. Okay. And so I want to know what each of your walk-ups are. Harrison, I'm going to actually have you answer this one too. What is your walk-up? What is your walk-up song that you would have? And so, Paul, I want to start with you.
That's hard. I mean, probably I would either pick Yes Indeed by Lil Baby or Baby by Quality Control.
Okay. Like that. I'm not sure if that's in the catalog here. We'll have to look at it a little bit later, but we'll figure that out. Brendan, what about you?
Definitely Coming In Hot by Indie Minio.
Okay. Like that. Coming In Hot. All right. Mikael, what's your walk-up song?
Coming In Hot and probably Thunder.
Okay. Like that.
Hot and Thunder. Because like thunder means like I'm gonna hit that ball and it's gonna thunder through the sky. But like I'm coming in hot, like the ball's just gonna.
Okay, so he's got both of them. I like that. What about you, Harrison? I gotta know what is your theme song?
Yeah, I'm starting with this one. I'm trying to think of a Tom Petty song, but I can't think of like one I'd want to pick right now. So a lot of them are really relaxed. AC/DC always works, so I might go with those guys. But between Tom Petty or AC/DC.
Okay. Mine would be a little bit off. You all probably don't need. It'd be a new edition. New edition. I got to throw it back to, some of the folks out there. I got to get some of the parents up. Go ahead if it isn't love or something like that. I know it's non-traditional, but I'd go ahead and make it happen. Okay, so want to know, when you talk about, like, we talked about your scholars and we talked about interaction, tell us a little bit about just your season. Brennan and Paul, like your coach talked about just going to state and experiencing that. What was that like for you this year?
It was exciting, just skipping school to go to the game.
Right there, a true answer right there. I think that's the best answer ever. What was the best about it? Skipping school.
It's honest. I'll give them that.
So the skipping school part, Paul, what about you? What was the one thing that you remember?
Well, one thing I remember is our last game of state, our principal actually had 50 kids from our school come out, and he bussed them out and he had them sit in the stands with us. So it just added those like extra fans in the stands.
Okay, so Principal Cedric Cooper, got to give a shout out to him, the principal over at Northwest High School. We're going to come back with another segment. We're going to ask for some motivational speeches. And so, Miguel, you're going to give a motivational speech to them before the game. You're going to get to be Coach Williams. You're going to get to be the head coach after this break and hear what you have to say. So we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring, jewelry makes the right statement. So if you want to knock her socks off, or anything else for that matter, skip the generic gifts and go straight for the bling. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at gainatrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. we have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos on this Sunday morning, as you will be all day, is Harrison. Harrison got a full lineup for the rest of the day with Fitness Fanatics following from 9 to 11, as well as DP and a bunch of other individuals. So what's the lineup for the day?
Yep, the only switch up we got today is Jay Foreman. He'll be postponing his show to make way for, again, that 11 o'clock show. We'll have Austin Norman, Nick Steiner live down in Stillwater as Nebraska gets ready to take on another game today, and that one starts 1 o'clock p.m. They're obviously still down there in Stillwater, so that'll be a good one. We'll have coverage for that, and then from there on out, it'll be regular programming, so shows pretty much all day long until we get to that 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour.
Sounds good, and good luck to the Huskers as they kind of go ahead and give it a good run. Give it a good run.
Absolutely.
And so it's why not? You're down there, and I think we'll have good fan content, good fan support, and on that side of the bracket. Well, we are joined here in studio by three scholars, and we were joined earlier by Coach Williams. So I really want to appreciate him from the Lincoln Northwest baseball team, and also BB Roofing, who is their Legion sponsor. We're joined by Brennan, who is a scholar at Northwest, as well as Paul. And they are both on the Northwest. They're both scholars at Northwest, but also playing Legion ball this summer. And then Mikael, and I got to thank him, publicly on air. He gave me, when he walked in, he gave me a bracelet in those Northwest colors. And so I appreciate that. I'm going to wear that. Hopefully that gives me some good luck on the course today. I'll have to report back. But they have been giving us just some insight on just really honestly being good humans, but the importance of the X's and O's off the diamond. And I've been appreciative of that and the advice that they had given. Paul, you talked a little bit just about, continuing to go and giving things, your best effort. What does that look like for you? And then when you're challenged, how do you kind of overcome some of those things when you're like, man, this isn't easy. This isn't really fun, but I also know it's for the good, and I need to keep going through and keep proceeding with things.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like, you just you can't hang your head, because especially if you're like a leader on a team, because like people look up to you, and so if they see you hanging their head, then they'll start hanging their head, and then it's just kind of like a snowball effect. And so you kind of have to keep your energy up. Like in the dugout, we have like Casey, who he's really good at keeping his energy up. And so you kind of have to just be that person who always has like a smile on their face and stuff.
Well, something I've liked about all three of you is and we've had this often, but when you came in the show, you all are mentioning other people. And you're putting other people's name into the space. I mean, Mikael, you mentioned individuals. Paul, you've mentioned. Brennan, you've mentioned individuals. And obviously the station only seats so many, but you've affirmed other individuals. And I think that really speaks to the nature of you all giving to others. Brennan, what about you? What is something that, you look at and you're like, okay, this isn't always easy. This isn't always what I want to do, but I feel for the common good. I'm going to go ahead and keep doing it. What does that look like for you?
It's like everyone's pushing you to be the best, so you just got to put 1% better each day.
I like that. I'm a big proponent of the 1% better. So you all are here. You're in the dugout. Okay, we've got your coach here. Okay, I elevated Coach Williams to the head coach, and so your head coach is now the GM. Okay, we didn't fire him. He's now the GM, and we've got Coach Mikael here. Okay, they're getting ready to go out for their next game. You're giving them the pregame speech. We want to know what that pregame speech is. So I want you to go ahead, get right up to that mic, and you're going to go ahead and give them. You're the assistant coach. You're getting ready to give them the speech before they walk out for their 9 innings. Go ahead.
Yeah. I definitely encourage you guys to try your best, to give in your best effort. Don't try to don't purposely aim at someone. I don't know. If you're getting overwhelmed, maybe take a couple of. I don't know, but I will. There's just one guy I've watched. He was a youth kid in baseball, and he was all amped up for 9 innings, and he's just all ready. He's all ready. So that was kind of what he said, and he just said get ready, come on now, it's in the championship. Pretend it's the championship. No one loses or wins in the first inning.
Wow, I like that. That right there. Nobody wins or loses in the first inning.
Oh yeah, Nebraska baseball took a page out of that yesterday.
Yeah,
first inning didn't go great. Stuck with it.
We're gonna have to send that up to Coach Bowl. Let's go ahead and send that. Nobody wins or loses in the first inning. That's a good mantra right there for life as well. Fantastic job. So talk a little bit about. We want to know about your aspirations. What are your future? And I hate saying hopes and dreams, but what does the future entail for you, Brennan? Not only just within high school, but also outside.
High school, probably just try and graduate, get honors roll.
Okay.
And then in college, I want to do human services. So I like helping kids be their best.
Okay. And so kind of following that lines of what mom's been doing in that human service realm. And you said try to graduate. I think it's going to be more than trying. If you're just trying, there's going to be some nights where you're going to be running by the window being like, she's after me. Nah, you should have done more than try. You will graduate high school. So looking forward to that. Paul, what about you? What are your future, aspirations? What do you want to do when you grow up? But what are the things that you're leaning towards being involved in, post high school?
Post high school, planning on going to some kind of college, probably 4 year. I want to graduate college, and then you can ask my parents. I've talked about so many different jobs. I've talked about being an engineer. When I was young, I always said stuff about being a pro hockey player or some stuff like that. And so, right now I don't really know what I want to do, but
I look back and your parents, your dad's back there probably clapping or whatever else, because at least you're talking about things that are out of the house. They love you now, but everything you talk about is involving out of the house. They're not putting an ice rink in the house. So they're he's going to be a great hockey player, but it ain't going to be at my house. So love that. Mikael, what about you? You've got a little time, okay? I know your parents, they want you, they love you, but what are some things you're looking forward to, post high school, maybe college, career wise, things you want to do for a living?
I don't know. I do want to finish college. I do in college. I've been trying to see because I'm a sports person. So I'm so do I want to play hockey or what do I want to do? So I'm thinking if I can do football in college, then I can do hockey and the pros. But I've been thinking I don't know how to do this. So if I can do football and hockey in college, because the Lincoln Stars are technically a college team, I could do that. Or because I've been asking for this a lot, because I want to play hockey I've asked my mom so many times, like, can I play
your
for
mom's like, cut it down, cut it down.
Cut it
Hey,
down. Like,
stop
no,
it.
no, just chill. Okay. Like, I'm just like, I've always been asking to play for the junior stars. I'm like, just, please, mom.
What we say is we're a vehicle, 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score is the vehicle to make dreams happen.
Yeah, we support the
what
Lincoln
we're-
Stars too, so it's a good team to bring up. Shout out to Stars.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. I love that. And I love that you said football and that hockey combination. I don't think, I mean, we've got the wrestling, football,
That
the
might be the
track.
scariest
Yeah.
D1 athlete. If you got a D1 athlete doing
Oh.
football and hockey,
I think at any level, that's just a scary human.
I want to do a lot of sports. Like, I've been paying attention to wrestling already. Like, I'm like, oh, I know the tension. It's like, just, I need to watch this, mom. Please. I need, like, okay, so a couple weekends ago, the King and Queen of the Ring was on Peacock. So I started to watch that, and then it got too late, and my mom was like, it's time to go to bed. I'm like,
We got to get DP down here.
Seriously?
you're going to be on a one-on-one with DP because
It
when you're
literally
talking about
took
and
one-
Haas, without question, Harris and I are just our heads are like turning right now, and I'm like, DP's going to have you as a guest when you start talking about wrestling and everything else.
But it literally took 1 hour just to get to a match. And I'm like, would you just get to the match at this point? Like, it doesn't take you 1 hour to just speak. Like,
oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. So, as we look towards kind of ending things, we always ask each week a couple questions, but one is we ask people to finish the prompt, love is. Okay. And I'm curious just for you to finish that prompt. So love is, finish that with a statement, a sentence, a word. Love is to you, Brennan, what love is.
Love is like your family and like your friends meaning a lot to you. Yeah.
Okay. Paul, what about you?
Probably like love is just, it's something that makes you happy.
Love is something that makes you happy. Tell me, what's something that makes you happy outside? You talked about baseball, you talked about school, family. What's something that people wouldn't know that makes you happy without talking and engaging with you?
Music.
You told us a little bit about the artist of your walk-up song.
Yeah.
I like that. Mikael, what about you? Love is
something that people like. I feel like love is just something that people give to each other. Like, not like I don't know. It's just
I like that. Love is something that people give to each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
that's
you can
powerful
love
in
the
itself.
people, but like that doesn't mean you have to like love them. Like, you can just like, you can still be friends, but like loving doesn't mean you have to like be all over them. Like,
I like that.
always riding cars. Like, no, that's not just love is not always being just kind. Love is paying attention to other people that you want to pay attention to you.
Say that again. You said love is paying attention to other people. Say that again in the mic.
Love is paying attention to people that you want to pay attention to you.
That's solid. That is really solid right there. I mean, I think that's a piece of advice all of us could take with us. Additional summer plans. What else is on your summer agenda? I get it, sports, family, but what is, just tell what else is on your summer agenda to make yourself a better human? Paul, I'll start with you.
Well, in a few weeks, I know, I think it's Homer's Heroes or something.
Oh, okay. Homer's Heroes. Yeah.
And so, through the baseball team, we're gonna help out at like some baseball game.
Okay. Brennan, your summer plans.
The same thing, and then also working at Norwood Park, and they're combined with Brownell during the summer.
Awesome. Fantastic. Mikael, other summer plans? They start getting that hockey rink in the house and that football training program. I know your parents are like, never again will we bring you out in public. But what's something you're looking forward to this
I'm already
summer?
on swimming. Like, I've been swimming for like 5 hours every day. Like, every day. Unless it's raining, I'm like, swim.
Okay.
Unless it's like really cool. I like the first day last year, first day we filled it up, it was fully filled. And I was just like in the pool. I jumped in. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cold, but I don't care. Let me just swim.
Making it happen. Making it happen right there.
Definitely barbecues with my dad.
Okay.
Because my dad, he makes really good food. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
shout out. We're all over at the address. We won't let you put the address out online. I almost said give us the address, but don't do that. You might go ahead and give that to us. Hey, thanks for joining us this week on 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score. Appreciate our guest. We'll see you next week.